Hey everybody, it's Matt. Wrestling with Whiskey is back. We got a rapid review today, and here is today's bourbon. Today we're looking at Penelope Bourbon, both their regular 80 proof intro level bourbon, as I like to call it, as well as their cask strength edition, same 4-grain formula, but at full barrel strength. Let's get into it. First, we'll look at the 80 proof intro version of Penelope Bourbon. This is a 4-grain bourbon, aged right around 2 years. It says age stated minimum of 2 years, which usually means it's right around that point. Distilled in Indiana and bottled by Penelope Bourbon in Kentucky. Lawrenceburg, Indiana to be precise, which we all know, generally speaking, without proper confirmation, is MGP in Indiana, known for their high rye whiskeys as well as high rye bourbons. But this is a 4-grain bourbon blended of 3 different mash bills. It doesn't tell us what those mash bills are, the percentages of each one, but we do know it includes corn, wheat, rye, and of course malted barley. You can see right there, it's pretty light. Again, this is 80 proof. It is also only around 2 years old, or at least the youngest in the mix is 2 years, because legally, if you're going to state anything, that's what you have to state. In theory, there could be 12-year, high rye bourbon in here, mixed in with 2-year wheated bourbon. But from the price point and from what it seems like it is, it's probably all around 2 years, maybe 3. Light caramel sweetness, some grain, a little bit of light brown sugar and baking spice. Alcohol is very minimal, light proof. Take a sip. Very light. Mild sweetness. Decent amount of spice for an 80 proof bourbon. Very short finish, which is to be expected with both the age and the proof level here. There is a slight unpleasant bitterness that I'm normally not used to. I think it may be because the flavors are so watered down with the proof, but that's just me. Very light sugar. No real fruitiness. Those notes seem to come more with age. Overall, not bad. For an intro bourbon, priced at right around $30. So it's not a crazy price. But that said, for $30, $35, depending on your market, you could probably get a lot more bourbon with character and stuff like that for that price, when also with more punch of proof. But on that note, let's see what the cask strength has to offer. So here we have Penelope Bourbon's cask strength barrel proof offering, which from what I told is not the exact necessarily same blend, but it is also still 4-grain, but the ratios of which mash bills and what are slightly different. Again, we don't have the exact mash bills that are used, but we do know it's a blend of 3, probably the same 3 used in the intro bourbon, but in different capacities, so to speak. This one is also age shaded on the bottle as at least 46 months. So we do know it's just shy of 4 years, so there's a little bit more age on this one. So age and proof, and in this edition, the proof is 115.8 or 57.6% ABV. And immediately, you can tell by that color, there's a little bit more character, there's a little bit more proof, there's a little bit more that's hopefully going to stick to the roof of my mouth. I couldn't quite finish that rhyme. Right off the bat, we're getting more intensity on that caramel sweetness. A little bit of fruit in there. Some dark cherries are on there. The alcohol punch is certainly there. Again, it's not super old. We're shy of 4 years here, so still got those little bit rough around the edges kind of thing, right? Because as it ages, those seem to mellow out with time in the wood. But at shy of 4 years, we're still growing. That said, there are some nice kind of dark fruit notes. Some rye spices in there for sure. Mild leather note there as well, kind of leathery tobacco note, but just a hint, just a little hint. Let's take a sip. Spice kicks in. It makes me think the rye value between the 3 mash bills used is aggregate pretty high. Nice, kind of florally rye note, but not overpowering. The tingling peppery spice covers the mouth front to back, lingers in the back of the throat, dries in like a bitter graham cracker kind of taste, which is actually pretty pleasant. Unlike the original, I like the bitterness on this edition. I would say it's a medium-ish finish. It's not super long, but it's not running away from you like you just kicked it in the teeth. You know what I mean? I can't wait to see what this is like at an aggregate of like 5-6 years old. because it's got a really nice presence here. I think it could use just a little bit more time in that barrel, a little bit more, going in and out of that wood. Some of the richer caramel sugars coming out even more will do it an incredible justice. And if they can keep it at the same price point, at I think $50, $40, $50, it's not a terrible offer in today's bourbon market considering the kind of things that are out there. So if you want to try something new, and for a 4-grain, I'm generally not a fan of 4 grains. I will say that. I like a traditional high rye bourbon or a wheated bourbon on their own. 4 grains generally don't, stand up to what I like. But this one is very interesting. It is pleasant and it is layered, even at just shy of 4 years old. So if you're looking for something new to try, that's one I would recommend, generally speaking. If you like this rapid review, please leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Especially the likes and comments. It really helps with the algorithm. Help this channel grow, and you will grow with us. Until next time, everybody, cheers, and always be wrestling with whiskey.